good performance from both teams that game. Let's go into game 2, though, because if that was game 1...
Wow, that was game 1. I just realized that's game 1.
It's like, goodbye. No, it's not goodbye. It's not over. It's game 2.
We'll see if the Sobeks band out first once again as Cloud9 has that first pick position. bchm, he played fine on Khepri.
So give it him again.
Might as well.
That's what I said about TSM's roster there. The whole game was good from them. I'd like to see them go for the same thing.
I didn't see, individual mistakes from many of the players, if at all, right? There's a small mistake once in a while, but a lot of it came down to team fighting decisions from both teams.
I don't think there was no huge mistakes on either side.
Oh, no. No one made it. The worst mistake I saw all game was Stealth getting picked there, kind of like, 12, 13 minutes when he was, moving up above the mid camps and got cut off because he had no vision on anyone. That was the only mistake that I was like, okay, probably shouldn't have done that. But it was a game-breaking.
Picks and bans looking relatively similar to what we saw last time. But I was going to say relatively similar, but...
I mean, Team Solo Mid, we could see close to a run back if Team Solo Mid just feel like they just didn't play their team fights as well as they wanted.
Just whispered each other at the start of the game going, should we just run this back? And they're like, yeah, let's run this back.
When did that happen? Titan versus Dignitas ran it back. But the problem was that Titan had lost in 22 minutes, and then they ran it back and lost in 20 minutes. This game was a little bit closer.
Improving performance. I mean, that game lasted 47 minutes. If they run this one back, will it last 45?
Maybe.
Some will come banned out once again. Janus available. Janus available.
Oh, Cloud9 banned out Janus last time, so leaving that open for themselves, and it was Team Solo Mid who banned out the Wukong. Team Solo Mid, though, Snoopy specifically, not having fun with andinster Circuit last game.
Are they going to give Stealth Janus?
Maybe Cloud9 doesn't want Janus? I mean, it seems like that's what they're aiming for.
You can't leave Janus up. Oh my god, they're going to go with DaGarz's Thor.
So they're going to take that away and grab... I mean, you say DaGarz is Thor, but andinster is just as good.
I'm saying that just because of the fact that last game we just saw DaGarz go 10, 1, and 9, I want to say.
He played phenomenally.
And if he went that high as /9 in that game, you don't want to give it him again.
He played phenomenally. I mean, I said... I never said anything bad about DaGarz, by the way. I want to go back to that. I said Thor specifically.
I just wanted a Reddit thread about it, that's all. But the Janus does go over to TSM now and could probably give it to BaRRaCCuDDa. And Hou-Yi, like you said, Snoopy's game on that, for the most part, it was all about him trying to stay alive. But
he seemed to be running most of the game.
He was running away from the gank attempts, but when he was involved in the fights, he made an impact with a lot of damage and zone control.
You saw the few times, one of the times that BaRRaCCuDDa went aggressive, same with andinster, and he actually fought both of them back. Athena locked in for JeffHindla, so Cloud9 sticking with that support, and Zhong once again, a very tanky lineup coming out from Cloud9.
Bit of a run back here. The only difference is the jungle for Cloud9 so far. TSM, no, not going to be using the Poseidon this time. I'm going to have the Janus with the mobility and burst damage available to that as well with the unstable vortexes.
Do they go Khepri here is the question. Do they run that Khepri? See, I'd say they go Khepri just because they can simply put it in Soul if they want to.
They went Khepri Geb last time, right?
I think if they're going to pick up one, and I honestly believe Cloud9 will ban out the other, unless they want Team Solo Mid to run the same composition. Well, but this is different, right? So I was talking about the Poseidon. Janus is that god that does so much burst. If they had Janus set up Poseidon, Team Solo Mid easily could have won that game, I think.
Respect once again to BaRRaCCuDDa's Jabelonke there.
I think you ban out the Khepri here.
You reckon it's Khepri?
Yeah, I love that. Because Janus, replacing Janus with Poseidon there would have worked, and Team Solo Mid likely could have won that or turned those fights.
We've seen bchm play Sobek, it gets banned. We've seen bchm play Khepri, it gets banned. What does bchm play now?
This is the game. We're gonna see how deep his god pool goes. Every week up until Super Regionals, he's just gonna have something else banned out.
Are we calling that DaGarz? Are we calling that
DaGarz at first, simply because that's been one of his go-tos outside of Thor.
Very true.
He's historically run that a lot in the fall split and the summer split. At the summer finals, he really brought it out, and it surprised a lot of people.
He's got a 42% win ratio so far this season. A bit lower than I expected for Fenrir, considering
very good against Zhong as well, who doesn't have any mobility or lockdown. Zhong is going to have to beat. He doesn't have any CC immunity in his kit, and he doesn't have any mobility, so when Fenrir comes in, he is basically caught.
Well, Baskin's going to go for Osiris in the solo lane.
Very lane-dominant warrior.
And that now leaves TSM to choose what they want to put there. Hades, maybe?
If you want to be safe.
Yeah, it depends how safe they want to be with bchm here.
I mean, Hades is pretty good against a Zhong.
I was just thinking of other Guardians that he could run, because we see the Guardian sort of situation there with him. Bacchus. Nice.
Bellona. Will be standard.
Pretty standard. So Bellona versus Osiris in their solo lane, for the most part, it's a farm fest?
Yeah, I mean, Osiris more than likely going to control the lane early on unless there's some misplays, but it's nothing, incredibly dominant where it's like you have to be under your tower for the first... it's not like you're running a Loki where you're getting poked out no matter what. It's just warriors beating on each other with Osiris coming out on top a little bit.
Not so sure about the Zhong versus Janus matchup. I feel Janus should really dominate that lane for the most part, because obviously MLC Stealth's going to have to walk up to the minion wave to clear that wave out, and Threshold is a big impact player.
Not only Threshold, he could also,
Portal.
yeah, he could get portaled into Unstable Vortex. I'd say this is Janus's lane to control for the most part. MLC Stealth going a very early power potion.
But this composition, and once again from TSM, is very similar to last time of like if Cloud9 go aggressive and look for the picks, TSM can respond again with Janus.
Yeah, and instead of the Thor.
Instead of the Thor and the BaRRaCCuDDa coming in with the Trident rotations.
And that's what Team Solomid has always been known for, is their heavy rotations into every engagement. They don't allow any player to kind of be left alone. Even though Snoopy was dying, they made sure to find kills off of those deaths.
Start the game 11 seconds in. Let's look at the itemization between the two teams. Early on, Snoopy going to be going for the Transcendence here at the start of the game, it looks like. Meanwhile, BaRRaCCuDDa going to be taking up the Devourer's Gauntlet route that he took last time. Power Pot online for DaGarz and for andinster. Keep an eye on those two at the beginning of this game to see if it makes an impact for them, if they can find an early kill. And if they die, it's wasted gold.
Stealth had also got a power pot too, so he's really looking to try and control that lane. Standard starts for both teams, nothing too ordinary, and like you said, nothing really crazy with the builds. Snoopy also went Bluestone, not just Transcendent, so he should be clearing those waves a little bit more effectively early on.
And Snoopy's wave clear in the jungle should be a little bit more effective because of the Ricochet. Should allow him to get to lane ever so slightly quicker, but I guess with the support of a Geb alongside it, it's going to be pretty balanced. You can see the dual lane just hit there at the same time.
Thor and Fenrir rotating to those mid caps at the same time. Typically, we'll see whoever has the lane advantage early give the, or not have the lane advantage early, give them up, and you could see that Stealth cleared that wave a little bit faster. BaRRaCCuDDa could not risk losing those couple creeps in the mid lane, finish those off, and then grab the left hand.
I actually want to say that the fight between those two gods in the mid lane, the mid junglers and mids and junglers together, so it was from each team. That's an even fight. That could go either way, that one. I mean, Stealth could help find the kill onto Janus or onto the Fenrir, but at the same time, Fenrir and Janus could definitely confirm a kill on the others.
Oh yeah, as long as it's not a clear-cut victor, you rarely will see teams, high-level teams, I would say, fighting. You can see both of them electing to go into the farm kind of fest so far, although Cloud9 seems to be a little bit faster on the rotations. Actually, DaGarz going very early to the dual lane, but he's walking right over a ward. DaGarz trying something sneaky to abuse bchm, but bchm knows it's happening.
That's andinster, isn't it?
What did I say, DaGarz?
Yeah.
I meant it's Thor, man. What do you want me to do?
You said don't talk about andinster's got a Thor too. You were saying a minute ago, and then you call andinster DaGarz. How offensive. How very dare you. Both of those players will be very upset when they hear this broadcast.
I'm sure they'll be fine.
I don't know about that. You'll find out at regionals or on Twitter later on today.
I'm sure I'll find out on Twitter.
So at the moment, mid laners and junglers combining once again to take away back harpies. As per usual, continue farming. They should hit level 5 with the next wave. Meanwhile, dual lane, as usual, is an absolute cluster mess.
Same dual lanes we saw back in game 1. Apollo and Athena combining against the Hui Geb. So I expect it to kind of go the same way, where it was pretty farm fest for the most part, although Snoopy and Eonic were controlling the lane early on, at least until andinster started ganking. The question is andinster going to put out as much pressure as he did in game 1?
That's the question. Wall double tap comes out from Andy. Bit of damage onto DaGarz there, but DaGarz didn't really back away or panic there, just backstep towards his support BaRRaCCuDDa there in the mid lane. He was fine. Didn't want to panic too much. Level 5s are starting to be reached now, so keep an eye on the rotations from both these mid laners.
No, they both backed. Team Solomid and Cloud9, I just love watching them and kind of their symmetry sometimes. Both the mid laner and jungler finished that wave and then back on both teams, although there was a small window of opportunity for ganks for, I would say, Team Solomid. Once they actually watched Cloud9 back in lane, they could have, Team Solomid that is, could have stopped their backs and then rotated somewhere and looked for a gank.
Looking for a gank right now. It looks like we may see andinster go to the sky looking for a pick. Potentially he did go for a pick.
I think that's it.
Walled off, double tap, but Eagles rally response, and it's over on the right-hand side.
It's always good when, if you don't connect your abilities on a gank, that you at least force ultimates or actives out from your opponent. So a perfect wall for andinster there, going to make sure that bchm does not have Eagles Rally for at least 90 seconds.
I think he was just a little bit out of range, unfortunately, to be able to get the stunner from the Thor wall. You can see how far over bchm was to the side. It's not actually a bad idea as a solo lane, I guess, to hug the wall a little bit.
You see that a lot mostly from hunters. Mids as well early on. Sometimes they'll be, if you're looking at it from the order side, they'll be hugging that left side wall. because they know the junglers are coming from the solo lane side.
Oh, look at that. Aggression from Garz, looking to be cheeky and steal away the purple buff. He won't get it, but instead he'll pick himself up with a bone in JeffHindla. JeffHindla going to get brutalized after. The preemptive strike doesn't help him. BaRRaCCuDDa does get out, but first blood goes to the DaGarz and TSM.
We saw it in game 1, right? Very early Aegis picked up from JeffHindla to make sure to avoid the Krakens. This time, though, doesn't elect to pick up beads to avoid Garz's gank. Garz finds the pick. Very good start for Team Solo Mid.
Once again, TSM off to a great start. And that was really just Garz's individual play more than anything. Going aggressive in the jungle.
He was aggressive, trying to steal the attack speed, and then just comboed perfectly. But, I mean, it was a good rotation from TheBoosh and Snoopy as well.
Do we expect we'll see beads come out from JeffHindla this game?
I would like to.
Just for safety feature of not being picked up?
I feel like he should. I'm not saying he will, but I think that's a smart choice, especially against all the CC that Team Solo Mid has. bchm has Eagle's Rally, which has an ult. Garz not only has the stun in his kit, but also Ragnarok to pick him up and lock him in place for a couple seconds. Boosh has portals.
Aggression once again onto Baskin, who was looking to try and steal away the blue buff, but with Garz over here and Boosh rotating as well, Baskin will just retreat to the safety of his lane and continue farming away. bchm will pick up his experience and his blue buff too. As on the left-hand side of the map, Snoopy just got his purple buff as well.
And it's grabbing his speed, so both teams focusing on their buffs for now. And it looks like a pretty passive game. Andinster tried the early gank onto the solo lane, but hasn't had any impact in the game outside of that so far. bchm
still in the game,
Gonna ward Fire Giant, make sure that Andinster doesn't come back and gank him. Actually, he has 2 wards placed to make sure we don't see him get picked early on.
Still a very early game though, so you're not going to see too much action right at the very beginning. We're not seeing Cloud9 go as aggressive as they were last time. Andinster not on that circuit, so looking for the picks as effective. He looked so far to the solo lane for bchm, which, let's be honest, bcm's a bit of an easier target this time around than the Khepri he was on last game. So switching up where he's looking to put his pressure on this game.
Double tap, not going to connect with Garz, only got the first hit of that, but you know, you take a look, Team Solo Mid, they have a very pick-oriented comp where Cloud9 probably looking to team fight more than likely. Team Solo Mid, they have Janus, they have Garz on this Thor, and they have Snoopy on a Hui. All these gods are very good in locking down individual targets. It's very likely that we could see Team Solo Mid continue this style where they focus either JeffHindla or another player and try and get the win from there.
Well, Stealth actually found out by that damage coming out from Boosh that there's a ward around that sort of area near his rotation. So expect to see a sentry go down near where Andinster stood right now in the jungle. We'll probably see that sooner rather than later, but for the moment, 3 in the mid lane for each team, just going to continue farming up. Harpies on the right will spawn slightly earlier than the ones on the left as well, as we'll see Andinster go back for his back Harpies here. So we tune in with Baskin and bchm, which, as you said, early game it goes to Baskin, but now bcm's starting to put a beating back onto him now.
Baskin, I think, just forced out there. You can actually see bchm, I think when he backs, he actually bought multiple potions. Again, not something you typically see, but that's going to help him in that lane. Cloud9, they're going to be grabbing
Snoopy.
These right-hand Harpies.
Left-hand side, Snoopy going aggressive, looking for that purple buff again.
BaRRaCCuDDa in trouble. This is the pick we were talking about.
Not going to find it now. The rotation is there in the jungle. Look at the zone duty from Garz and Boosh. They're going to steal away purple buff, and Cloud9 can't rotate to the... Oh, did he just get it back?
No, that was close. That was a nice
maybe
knock.
They're going to punish him. Jeff's here. Immediate leap away. Eonic gets taunted. He's not going to be too upset. Through space and time, got fired by Boosh preemptively to help his teammate escape.
I like that through space and time. It really looked like Cloud9 wanted to commit onto Eonic there, but BaRRaCCuDDa clearly making the call for them to back off, and that ultimate coming out from the Boosh was just there to make sure Eonic would get out if Cloud9 had elected to dive on top of him.
I still don't understand how you could be scared of someone that carries a paintbrush around with them. It just never made sense to me. Talking about that, he's going aggressive at the moment.
Really
Andinster with the dunk, looking for the pick on Fenrir, but Garz didn't really panic once again. Just walked away, had his ultimate, had jumps and leaps, chose not to.
I mean, I said it myself, I was a little bit surprised that Andinster was landing on there, just looking for the damage, immediately hammered out after he threw out his Berserker's barrage, but Eonic!
Stealth's dead. Stealth is in trouble. He actually beezed early, but it's not going to be enough to stop the Ragnarok from punishing him down. And he actually picked him up. The Ghosts are doing work. Stealth is somehow still alive!
Somehow, JeffHindla almost died as well. The Ghost doing enough damage, and Andinster hitting the double tap, clutch double tap, honestly, to lock down the Garz and make sure that Stealth drops from that Ragnarok ultimate. And Cloud9 find a nice return kill on Team Solo Mid, evening up the game. Only a 300 gold lead for TSM. I mean, this game is dead even right now. Beads 1 were forced out onto Stealth, so Garz has that window of opportunity. Oh, Eonic double tap!
No, the shield was there just in time to get him away. Boosh can't punish him in the mid lane, so Andinster going to get away from that one. But that time round, that was TSM going aggressive, and Cloud9 answered back perfectly.
I was with you. I honestly thought that was going to be the end of Stealth, but somehow he ended up surviving there. His beads were early, but he still managed to sneak out. That's just how tanky Zhong is. I mean, here's the thing, right? Is that he got, for me, it was the fact that he got his ultimate off. I'm assuming he was max stacks on his deeming bags, which means he had 20 all protections.
Yeah.
And during your ultimate, those protections are doubled. So he had 40 all protections. That is likely what kept him alive.
Various amount of health.
With the lack of pin, really.
But you survive to live to fight another day. Like I said, though, how can you be scared of someone with a paintbrush? That's his weapon.
Do you see how big he is? His stomach he would crush you if he sits on you.
I'm about the same size as him.
Look at
What are
that.
you talking about?
Can you actually, let's go into first person, because he's so big you can hear his footsteps stomp around.
I walk like that.
Listen.
Are you trying to give me?
Listen.
It's offensive. I'm going to start carrying a paintbrush.
Are you cosplaying? Are you going to cosplay Zhong?
No, I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe.
I thought it was going to be Bacchus.
You can be my ghosts.
I mean,
I'll release you from my demon bag.
I'll just throw a sheet over myself.
Speed buff going to go to andinster here, going to go into the jungle and pick that one up. With the help of stealth, sharing experience is always key. Let's check in with the graphs actually and see how this one's playing out, because it doesn't look like it was a big difference between the two, and at the moment it's not, but TSM slightly because of the first blood.
It's just the first blood gold that we see the advantage of, which means Cloud9 has effectively farmed a little bit more efficiently there. Jump in, DaGarz going to miss.
That was a good stun from Stealth though. Taunt on from Jeff as well, followed up. Only hit Eonic, which wouldn't be the prime target they're looking for. Look at the rotation from Baskin though.
I think that's just to secure the mid-heart piece though, as you can see Team Solo mid. If they had wanted to fight, it would have been a man advantage for Cloud9. Baskin takes his trip back over to the solo lane.
Look at BaRRaCCuDDa. He must be so happy right now.
Oh, an attack speed buff that's not contested?
Not contested for the first time out of the last 3.
I mean, they secured the first one.
Days.
Here's the thing, right? He secured the first one, but he lost JeffHindla. Right there, he's like, all right, Jeff, you died for the greater good.
That's
Next
true.
one got stolen, unfortunately. So then he's like, all right, come on now. Jeff, why did you not sacrifice yourself for the greater good? And then the third one, uncontested.
Jeff didn't need to sacrifice himself.
Happiest moment of today for him.
Contested is these left on Harpies here, and he's trying to make something happen with a double tap. Did he just get those? I'm not sure if he did.
I couldn't tell. Close.
Very, very difficult to find out. But
TSM
grouped up together. They could look for a goal view here because he saw how Cloud9 backed away then, but they're choosing not to. Just
Eonic has Blink as well if he wants to fight this. Doesn't look like he does. Andinster going to throw out some poke. DaGarz jumps in, finds the stun. Andinster taking so much damage. Doesn't look like TSM want to go into Cloud9 there.
Can we check in with DaGarz as well? I just want to see if he's maxing Unchained first there. It looked like a lot of burst damage. Actually, no, he's second on that one.
It's almost maxed, though.
But yeah, there's a lot of burst damage coming out from that.
You can see JeffHindla sitting here trying to defend this. Zhong just doing his back harpies, likely to be fine. Look at this, though, deep into the jungle.
They both know each other so well. This is the thing. It looks like it's a slow game with not many kills, but they both know each other's game plans. They know how to deal with each other. They expect the crazy shenanigans, the janky plays they might try and pull.
It's going to be a fight. DaGarz actually backed in Cloud9's red buff. It may come back to haunt him. Nice blink from Eonic, but BaRRaCCuDDa is locked in.
This is what I mean. This is what I mean. They know each other so well, but maybe Cloud9 can punish that with a Gold Fury. There's a potential here for that.
It's already already about half.
Baskin has Teleport 3 as well. This is going to be a 5v3 scenario over here because we can't see bchm come over here as well.
This is going to be a close.
Space and time. The Gold Fury is reset. Eonic's in a lot of trouble. The shield he jumps through the pole, and now you can see the pickup by DaGarz bringing the boy of JeffHindla back. Stealth does take out DaGarz as Snoopy takes out Stealth in response, and JeffHindla is running for his life. No teleport used by bchm over here, but Jeff will fall down to Snoopy.
Baskin's going to be backing 4 now. Does he have enough gold to finish teleport? He actually does have teleport 3. Doesn't look like he's going to teleport in anywhere, as Team Solo mid showing themselves in the mid mean they're not going to go for the Gold Fury, but Eonic just barely getting out there. Those ghosts doing enough damage to lock down the DaGarz, but Cloud9 investing so much into the Geb and not finding him.
But that was a 3v4 scenario, right?
DaGarz ended up, no, it was at first, but then DaGarz was able to make it back in time for the fight.
Respawned. He took so long to respawn
4v4.
And got back involved. Wow. And so TSM 4-2. Gold Fury stays standing this time round.
Baskin pressuring out bchm for now. Is that Mystical Mail online for Baskin? Oh yeah. So bchm can't really fight this until he has enough gold to finish his off, and he does have enough in hand, just trying to get one last wave to make sure Baskin can't get his tier 1.
Igval fully complete for BaRRaCCuDDa there as well. He just went back to base and picked that one up, so a little bit of a lead
So I like what this. So this is a high-level play from andinster. He's trying to get the mid-camp to more importantly, he's trying to make sure that bchm does not get any help from DaGarz rotation. That's actually why bchm wasn't backing, because he only has teleport 1. He doesn't have enough gold to finish teleport 3, and it's also still on cooldown.
He does get his mystical mail now, but he may lose a bit of a chunk of his tower unless DaGarz can get over there. But in mid lane, Cloud9 aggressive, good top boosh is very low here, but he will escape through the corner.
Every time, Team Solo Mid escaping these fights with just the skin of their teeth. Snoopy here.
Snoopy maybe?
Bounce?
No, the Golf is going to be started, but the problem is Boosh was the one forced back. He's got through space and time available. Garz just showed himself on the right-hand side, though, and Baskin probably told him that. Baskin already in mid lane. 4v3 right now. Garz actually gets to mid lane right now after taking teleport. Nice. Gold Fury goes down, but there's still going to be a fight here. Eonic is still trying to make this something happen.
Through space at time, and that's going to come just in time for Eonic to get out of there. Cloud9 trying to retreat. Stealth going to get stunned out. Good nice beats. Better wall from andinster. Eonic still rolling through. Does he have Blink available? To the sky goes andinster, just looking like he's trying to get out. Boosh, don't do it. All right, I thought he was going to portal someone.
I thought Andy was thinking about going back into that. Would have been cool as well. But Gold Fury goes down for
It should be a mid tower, though. For Team Solo Mid, if they can group up in time.
Baskin's got no mana. I was going to say Baskin should be able to defend this, but no. You're going to see Jeff rotate in to try and help support. Andinster's on his way. BaRRaCCuDDa does have a ultimate to defend it, but looks like they're going to have to just give this one up.
Here's the thing.
Oh no, teleport coming in.
And try and get out. Oh, yeah, BaRRaCCuDDa's in the sky. 2-man taunt.
No Cataclysm available right now for Eonic. Already used. Is his shield available? BaRRaCCuDDa on the backside, don't get in. Baskin's got a tether on 3. He's looking for the pick on the rock. Meanwhile, MLC staff on the front side with the Exorcism and Andy combining to pick up Snoopy. Garz has to leap away, but the wall from Andy keeps him pinned. There's a slow on Garz as well. Baskin going to continue the chase, and there's bchm. Well, he's surrounded by 3 members. He's going to walk back too. The tier 1 tower falls, but Cloud9 killed.
I don't know about that. Cloud9 dropped that fight. They should have come up with so much more, but they were on different targets. They did a fantastic job of responding. We're able to pick up Snoopy and a return tower, meaning they're a positive 1 tower in that engagement. But Cloud9, you could just see they were kind of a mess there. They were on different targets. They were focusing different opponents. There was multiple times where they could have locked down individuals, but instead they only get Snoopy. Cloud9, though, still in the lead off of that Gold Fury in that last engagement.
After that, all that crazy aggression that we just saw in mid lane, backwards and forwards, all we see is 1 tower each in the mid lane fall down. This game is still balanced on a knife edge. It's crazy.
Baskin going to be backing as Eonic is soloing out.
Well, if Andy saw this, Andy might see this. Andy might see this in double tap.
It's going to be close. Stun. Yep. Double tap. Secures the blue buff. Eonic actually caught in a bad spot. Nice shield, and he's just going to be able to roll away.
He should be fine. Did they get the blue buff? Are you sure?
Yeah. Eonic more than likely would have picked it up before walking out, I believe.
Oh, that's a good point to make there.
Basket's going to go
he's actually trying to go aggressive on Anderson.
Anderson doesn't have a lot of mana.
That was the issue, no mana. And there's the engagement, but look at Jeff in the right position at the right time. Taunt, but Eonic is there too for a shield of response. Baskin against 3. Tether applied to the damage dealers, but BaRRaCCuDDa is used.
andinster's going to back and teleport in. Andy's going to back and teleport in. andinster will be back in this fight in just a second. Basket's turning it around. Athena crashing down. Stealth here as well. Over the top. Eagles rally. Basket still able to stay alive. andinster teleported back in. He's on the back line. The boosh, 1 hit, and he takes him out. Basket escapes. Now Garz focusing down andinster, but the ghosts were held, and andinster finds that hit. The teleport play from andinster coming up huge. He finds 2 in that engagement.
And immediately Cloud9 disengage because they see TSM. Snoopy has rotated to the mid lane, and so they're going to back away. But what this means is that at the same time, BaRRaCCuDDa is going to be able to take this tier 1 tower potentially away from the left-hand side of the map.
Forget about the left-hand side. It's a 3-on-2 on the right-hand side. bchm has no ult. Eonic still has Cataclysm, but Eonic getting focused out. Nice shield. Doesn't seem like Cloud9 have the damage to lock him down yet. That tower is so low.
Oh, Barry's looking for the tower here. At the same time, purple buff is being done.
Snoopy's giving it up.
Did you just fight? I thought you just fight.
Oh Snoopy wants to fight.
Let's have a fight here. Mez immediately from BaRRaCCuDDa. Ricochet connects. Beads responded. Gets away from the Suns. The Jukes backwards and forwards. Finger bangs are coming out, but it doesn't look like it's working. Lord of the Afterlife says Baskin, but it's a little too late. Snoopy will find the kill, but guess what? Boosh is on his way.
It's only Boosh, though. Basket's going to be able to stand tall. You can see Boosh not even wanting to take his own portals through there. 1v1. Snoopy comes out on top, but Baskin with the rotation able to lock down a kill. That was Snoopy's victory, though. You got to give him that.
He lost his tower. He lost lane. He lost lane. You lose tower, you lose lane.
You lose tower, you lose lane.
Lose tower, lose lane. That's why DM loses every game. He loses tower.
Yeah, but he rotates and helps his team.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, DM rotate. That was funny.
Yeah, that was pretty that was joke, right?
Shout out to him. 18 minutes and no, 6-5 is the scoreline. Let's check in with the golden experience now because we've only seen
this is still
one
close.
Gold Fury go down here. and it was in favor of Cloud9. Relatively speaking, if this was old school Gold Furies, this would be the situation we'd find ourselves in right now.
More than likely, 2,500 gold, 3,000 experience. This game is almost dead even. That's only a 500 gold lead on every player on Cloud9 at 18 minutes. That's an active or some wards. Can we actually take a look at wards placed real quick?
Yes.
8 coming out from JeffHindla. So honestly, JeffHindla's invested all his gold into sentries.
Kind of what the spot should do, though. That's what I expect it to, for the most part. He makes sure that BaRRaCCuDDa can get his purple.
Someone has less wards than BaRRaCCuDDa.
The dream.
Is that... I don't think I've ever seen that graph.
To be fair, Baskin does have 2 in his inventory, where BaRRaCCuDDa doesn't.
Okay, there
so that's going to change.
So that's 3 to 2. Okay, I got a little bit worried there.
Snoopy on the left-hand side is getting poked out there by andinster. He saw andinster coming, and now BaRRaCCuDDa. Oh no, Snoopy just leapt into BaRRaCCuDDa.
But his team is there.
Response from TSM. Barra's the one in trouble. He's got no beads. The suns are raining down. He will get deleted. BaRRaCCuDDa was the one baited by the counterbait.
Beads won, but look at this. It looks like the BaRRaCCuDDa and the team are actually taking the portals. They're trying to find andinster, not allowing him back. There's the teleport with the hammer. He still has his ult. He's getting up in time.
Ooh, the ricochet nearly hit. He will get out. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, Baskin dueling off with bchm for a little bit of that. Baskin on the rotation as well to make sure bchm can't get over here.
Oh,
look at
slows.
this. Look at the timing, Adonis. The Gold Fury spawned and TSM with the man advantage and the punishment onto andinster. They're looking to try and make it worthwhile.
This is going to even up the game or at least reduce the huge lead that Cloud9 has, likely to be only about 1,000 gold lead after this one falls. Baskin, however, will respond with the tier 1 on right. I'm pretty sure he could just walk in and tank it. Yeah, there he goes.
Right, he's going to be a little bit careful of this because there's a couple of teleports available from the enemy team potentially to come over, but okay, not punish too much in a quick tackle.
So
but
this is actually really important to take down the enemy towers because of these teleports that both junglers have gone. andinster honestly won the fight in the right lane because of his teleport. Eonic, or excuse me, all of Team Solomid grouped up and forced him out. He was able to teleport back in and make a big play. JeffHindla, though.
They're all on the left-hand side. TSM are looking to bring down the tier 1
tower,
but in the sky is Andy going up, looking for a dunk. Will he find a target? Yes, he will for a second, but DaGarz re-engages, forces beads, double tap. He beads as well and Berserkers away. Baskin on the backside with a big Lord of the Afterlife will help secure Snoopy. Portal was put down for BaRRaCCuDDa to give someone an escape route, but there's no one left alive.
It's going to be a tier 2 tower. Baskin zoning out bchm from getting through here. Eonic left alive. TheBoosh is backing, and DaGarz is backing, and there's no way that Team Solomid can defend this tier 2. Cloud9 answering back that last engagement in kind.
He's answering back to the Gold Fury.
To the Gold Fury,
yes. Let's have a look at the graphs, and you should see now that that goes down. Well, he's backing Cloud9's
back at
favor.
3,000 again.
Exactly the same situation. Cloud9 hold on to this lead. And to be fair, it's about tower defense. For the most part, the towers are the biggest impact for Cloud9 here now.
They still have 5 available. Only the tier 1 on mid going down. andinster is going to continuously be able to port into these. I don't know if he really wants to fully invest into teleport 3 for now. And the fact that he still has towers up, there's really no need to. Team Solomid grouped up in the mid lane, trying to put some poke out onto Stealth, who takes a little bit there.
It's
but
funny,
he's fine.
There's not a game where you can't see someone who's not had a good game because they're all playing well. No one's having a bad game on either side, but don't give him andinster. His good shield comes out from Eonic onto DaGarz, bringing andinster into a dangerous territory. He can't double tap away, so DaGarz picks up the kill. Now Cloud9 are on the back for a hit through space, and time gets fired off. Eonic trying to knock back Stealth. They're looking for the pick on Stealth, but in comes Jeff as well with the taunts. The Suns are going to slow them down. Baskin is on the front line. BaRRa's already basing. He's out of this fight, but Baskin may be a sacrificial lamb here, and he will be.
I like the sacrificial lamb. BaRRaCCuDDa porting in deep, though. Looks like he wants to find Stealth, or at least stop their back. Fire Giant's the call there. BaRRaCCuDDa has no ult. It was used, I believe, in that last engagement. He's going to be the only one left alive as JeffHindla and Stealth both
Do you go for the
backed.
steal, or do you go for kills here? If you're going to go into contest, you go for kills or steal?
I don't see anyone really in kill range. You have to go for the steal. BaRRaCCuDDa giving it up. He has his ultimate available. He's taking it to the sky.
Here we go.
It's actually in range. This is really close.
Will he dunk in? Hovering in the sky. The damage is
waiting.
coming in.
Is it enough?
BaRRaCCuDDa goes to TSM. BaRRaCCuDDa does not make it, but can he get out again? Oh, he put some damage on Snoopy. He just buys him a few seconds. Jeff's on the way, but it's only Jeff. They're not going to be able to follow up and find the kill. TSM get a Fire Giant and kill BaRRa. And oh my gosh, they may find another.
Yeah, Jeff is going to die here. Nice taunt. Is he going to be able to get the dash off? Stealth going so deep. Blinks into 5. Throws out the ghost. andinster comes crashing down. JeffHindla's already dead, but now Stealth left without his ult. Doesn't matter. andinster finds the kill he wanted. Now he's just trying to get out. Team Solomid, they're focusing on Stealth, but Baskin's back in. Cloud9, they're taking these fights 1 versus 4, 1 versus 5. Over the top, Baskin trying to lock down a target. Double tap. Baskin finds the kill. Oh my word.
They do have Fire Giant. They've got it to Fire Giant off 2 members.
They're chasing
Bickham's in a lot of trouble here as well. The wall is going to pin him and allow Baskin to close the gap again. GaRZ and Eonic have to stay to support and try and zone them back. But Baskin still not giving up. He wants to keep whacking away.
Is that going to be a stun?
They start to roll out. Eonic's going to be the one to fall down again. Cataclysm still tries to juke out. He's still going to go down. Mystical Mail ticking away. Shield.
Oh, the shield.
Buys another second. Knock up again.
Honestly.
Re-engage from GaRZ. Eonic's still alive. Re-engage from GaRZ again. Berserker Barrage looking for the
God,
just back in the fight again. Gonna look to dunk down and pick up the GaRZ. What?
I can't even right now. 10 kills to 11. Back and forth. Team Solo mid. Only Eonic and Bickham have Fire Giant Gold. All but even. 2,000 difference, but honestly, it does not even matter right now.
Two members have the Fire Giant.
The outplays and the global potential from both teams and just the... man... what is going on in this match?
I could cast this all
This isn't even regionals.
It's great. I know.
This is week 9. There's still a week left.
This is like the warm-up for regionals.
Oh.
If you don't know about Super Regionals yet and you weren't even caring about it, after watching this, you should be now, because these two teams, realistically, they're 3rd and 4th seed right now in the SPL. And they've got an uphill battle, but
they are 3rd and 4th seed. These were the two teams, the two North American representatives at the SWC last year, and they're not even the top 2 in North America right now.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. TSM,
These teams, I think, produce the best sets of anyone. Historically,
it's so much fun.
Even at Worlds, TSM versus Cloud9, then Cog Red versus Cog Prime. All 3 games were so incredibly close before Cog Prime was able to take it. Right now, though, Gold Fury, that's the next contention point for them, all grouped up.
You've got a few seconds, guys. Grab your popcorn, put the tea on quickly before the
I don't know. You don't have time. You don't have time to make any popcorn.
You sure?
You can't leave your computer right now. We're only 25 minutes. This feels like a 50-minute game
Gold
right
Fury
now.
has been started once again. JeffHindla is there and Baskin on the front side. GaRZ is zoning out with Stealth and Andy on the other side. Gold Fury gets reset now. Meanwhile, Jeff got a good taunt off there to zone him away. Bickham in the backside. Jeff's dunking in onto Stealth. He was worried about protecting, but that's on cooldown. Baskin, look at him. He's trying to whack away on Snoopy on the backside.
Snoopy's
but now Baskin is the one that's going to be in a lot of trouble there. The suns are raining down in a terrible alleyway. Still, though, Snoopy is dead. BaRRa's in the sky. Who's he going to look to pick?
Looks like he's going on to Eonic. Shield on himself. GaRZ picks up BaRRaCCuDDa. Nice Aegis. Staying alive, avoiding so much damage. Baskin juking out so much. Oh, the bludgeon hits 3, but it's not going to be enough. Bickham, he's going to fall now. Stealth. Looks like Cloud9 going to come out on top of that one, finding 3 kills, but the players, they got so low, barely managed to get out.
Nobody that this could potentially be a Fire Giant if it was available.
I don't know.
That's the set for the gold.
Excuse me, BaRRaCCuDDa has a lot of damage right now. It's so risky for all of Cloud9. They need to make sure not to get grouped up, but it seems with the lifesteal and self-sustain in their kits, they will be fine. This will be a Gold Fury for Cloud9.
Let's bring us back to the graphs then, because the Fire Giant went the way of TSM recently, but then the Gold Fury once again.
It's the largest lead.
The gold is still relatively similar to what we saw beforehand after the last Gold Fury of the Fire Giant.
4,700. This is the most we've seen it, but it's really not that big of a leap from the 3K 3,500 we saw Cloud9 have earlier. Team Solomid are still proving that they can fight back into it.
The only problem with TSM now is I can see in the jungle is that GaRZ is down a little bit in levels, as is BaRRaCCuDDa in the mid lane. There's a bit of an impact there in terms of the experience. GaRZ 16, Andy 20, Stealth 19 should be hitting 20 relatively soon, as you can see by experience. BaRRaCCuDDa though, level 17.
But with the Gold Fury, for me, right, you take a look, Snoopy. Snoopy has been targeted out every engagement.
That's
and,
true.
where Team Solomid is down in the jungle in the mid lane, they're up in the hunter role. Unfortunately, BaRRaCCuDDa has been able to get off more during these fights. Can we actually take a look at player damage and see where they sit? BaRRaCCuDDa sitting at, it looks like, 10K. Snoopy has been doing a little bit more work in the team fights, but that last engagement, the last couple engagements, he's been Cloud9's priority target, and they've been able to find him as well.
They have, and they've done good work at doing that, and that's why they've got themselves this opportunity right now. 2 towers still remain for the side of TSM, the tier 2 towers. Meanwhile, Cloud9 only lost that one in the mid lane, so far so good in terms of what the overall objective of the game is take the title.
2 towers remaining. Look at this.
Jeff, though, looking potentially to see jump, but Bickham's around this side, and they actually spot him out. You saw the reach over the wall.
Bickham's had some huge ults in the fights, just hasn't been enough. Really, the Suns and Eagles rally have combined so well for Team Solomid, not only putting a huge amount of damage and slow on an area, but also protection.
Baskin, though, 5-1-4. He's having a very good impact in this game, once again, and had an medium line again this game.
doing phenomenally here. Both of these teams, though, pretty wary of this next engagement. Even though Cloud9 have the advantage, it really does not feel like that.
No.
You mentioned it earlier, andinster's level 20, Stealth is level 19. This kind of lull in action is actually, I'd say, to the benefit of Team Solomid to try and catch up in the experience farm. While BaRRaCCuDDa is catching up to Snoopy, DaGarz really needs to hit level 20 as soon as he can. It's 28 minutes in and he's only level 16.
To be fair, what I think they're doing is they're all catching their breath right now, just like we're doing. So they're being very polite to the casters and the viewers at home to be like, oh, that was a lot of action.
We're not going to have, what was the bloodbath match? I can't remember at Worlds where it was like 30 kills in 20 minutes.
There's always games like that. Always. Well, last year at Worlds, there was a few of them. Wall comes out from Andy, doesn't find his target, though, which was BaRRaCCuDDa. Baskin going to zone out the members of TSM from that side. Fire Giant is the call point for all teams. Jeff, once again, like game one, has this Athena and will be looking for the taunts. This time, though, he's got extra support in Andy and these walls. And
putting out a lot of poke before the fight even breaks out. You can see that's Cloud9's key right now.
And
taunt in. Only one player. There goes the shield. We've seen this play quite often coming out from Cloud9. Oh, big Cataclysm coming out. 5-3 over the Charlie.
Sun's come down too. Meanwhile, Baskin dives in, Lord of the Afterlife, looking for Snoopy. Snoopy disappears away. Andy, though, dugs down, still looking for the pick on Snoopy. They finally get him. He's the first man down again. Jeff is here with his men on the front line. Double taunt once more. BaRRA still dealing out his damage, but a win once again for Cloud9. 1-0 trade.
They're able to take out Snoopy in every single engagement. That looked like such a good fight for Team Solomid, but Eonic might get caught a little bit here. JeffHindla looking for the taunt. Shield, it's already been used on Bickham. Stealth finds it. DaGarz beats. He's forced it back, and it looks like Bickham's the next target for the team. No, BooSh! Oh, you're done!
BooSh finds it. BaRRA dunks in. Bickham surrounded by all the members of Cloud9, and Cloud9 say thank you very much. We'll take a D aside and probably a Fire Giant.
I thought it was game, but they're actually on the wrong side of the map. Maybe if that fight was on the left-hand side, it's going to be tier 2 tower, and it looks like they're going to at least do the Phoenix. I think it'll be Phoenix end of Fire Giant, maybe?
I think they can end.
Might as well. I mean, no one's up for 20 seconds. Snoopy is up in 5, but then it's just 1 versus 5. Cloud9 giving a lot of respect to Snoopy, however, and also the potential to throw this game. They are making sure they win 2-0.
A lot of potential, a lot of stuff for Snoopy. Well, clearly they do, because they focus him every team fight. The moment he appears, it's like delete him. Delete him
and they still manage to get it. That's working out so well for them.
And the rest survive, which is the big key. The rest of Cloud9 survive. They're going to get Fire Giant here.
Do you see what's happening every single fight, though? What it's starting off with is JeffHindla is dashing in, and a lot of times what you see from Athena is they'll dash in and they'll look to taunt as many targets as they can. Jeff's not worried about that. All he's doing is he's baiting out Geb Shield at the start of the fight. He taunts Snoopy. Geb Shield immediately comes out on him. After it falls off, Andy dives the backline looking for him.
One thing to note, though, as well, Snoopy's only got beads 1.
Come on, Snoopy, you have 6 deaths.
Is that one of the issues, too, with the focus?
I think so. I mean, it's a lot easier, and it's a lot easier to lock down a target if they only have beads 1 or you have more windows of opportunity. I'm assuming, though, maybe with these I don't know.
Devil's advocate, though, like, if you invest in actives, then you're not going to be able to put out the damage that the enemy hunter is going to do because he's ahead of you.
It's iffy. Right? It's a really interesting scenario where if the fights are happening often enough, you really need the beads 3. But if they're spaced out enough between 2 or 3 minute intervals, you may not need it. And that, I don't know, I feel like we've been casting pretty much a team fight every single other minute.
It's been pretty regular for it as well. But at the same time, I guess the way I'm thinking of it, playing devil's advocate all the time, but I guess if you're not dealing damage, say if you're dead, you don't deal any damage.
That's true.
So beads, you might do less damage because you've not invested into items as much, but it's only 600 gold, right?
600 gold. Still no beads 1 for Snoopy, but he does have Rage online. Cloud9 were able to trap the Gold Fury. Looks like DaGarz
is really struggling now, but he's going to put some
pressure on Andy here. Are they trying to force out andinster here? They're investing a lot into Andy.
Look at this, Baskin round the back with the support of MLC.
Cloud9 split as a team,
is still going on andinster there. I'm not sure what's going on in that action there. It's actually forced JeffHindla's ultimate, and BaRRaCCuDDa's in the sky coming down. Will they look for the pick on DaGarz? DaGarz leaps back into the jungle to get away. Andy too low to really want to chase out. Space and time used by BaRRaCCuDDa.
Just to get DaGarz out.
To get him out.
Nice play by Team Solomid. andinster forced to back here, but he has teleport 2, likely to be teleport 3 soon. And look at this, he's actually going Deathbringer. Rank 2 of it online 4 now here in Cloud9. After Andy was forced back, looks like they want to play it or continue to play it safe, and they're all going to back in unison.
But there's not that much time left in the Fire Giant.
Oh, look at what Andy did. So he actually prefers. pretty sure he prefers Deathbringer just for the RNG crits, but he's actually gone Rage, and I think that's more so for the fact that he's not going to have time to finish Deathbringer before the next fight breaks out.
Okay, so he feels the next fight is the be-all and end-all of this.
Or at the very least, he doesn't want to wait, you know, the extra minute and a half farming the gold. Or it could be he likes Rage. Rage is technically more DPS. People just prefer the Deathbringer if you're looking for a single crit item just for the RNG chance.
Honestly, for about 28 minutes of this game, this was pretty much an even-Steven game. But right now you can see the acceleration after Cloud9 got the Fire Giant. They're starting to put the beat down onto TSM, and TSM up against it have 2 Phoenixes remaining here. Stealth himself happy to tank this up. Very similar build to last time round that we saw out of him.
Are TSM going to wait for Cloud9 to initiate?
Jeff
There it is, on to Snoopy. Gap shield forced out. Are they going to dive him in the back line? That's the key for Cloud9.
Stealth on the front side, doing good work to bchm with the crit damage coming out from BaRRaCCuDDa as well. This is working out. Jeff tanking up for them once again.
Oh, Snoopy!
Being void. Snoopy has to leap away. Beads are down as well. They're still down.
No!
Baskin picks up the kill onto him. And now the Phoenix should fall too.
GaRZ picked up Stealth and brought him to Snoopy. The Ghost chased them down, and Stealth found the kill. 2 dead now on the side of Team Solo Mid. Oh man, that was not a good fight for TSM here.
And
left Phoenix down, mid Phoenix down, and right Phoenix about to spawn. It's not over. Cloud9 still believe that Team Solo Mid can fight them. They're not diving straight in, but now TheBoosh gonna beads, not get taunted out. Gep shield, there it is. andinster taunting deep. That's gonna be game. Cloud9, I don't see how they lose this one.
Nope, it doesn't look like they're gonna. 2-0 in favor of Cloud9. First time they faced all season, and my, what a slobber knocker that was.
Oh, that was a set.
That was a set.
That was a
This
set.
was a good day of games, let's be honest.
That was 2-0 Cloud9, but realistically, it could have swung in either direction depending on some misplays from the individual players,
sure.
but everyone played so good on both teams.
Perfect performances from. I say perfect performances. TSM won't be happy that they didn't win those games, but boy, they've got a lot of credit to give to themselves for how well and entertaining and skillful those games were.
bchm came into this team a couple weeks ago, a couple sets ago, and we've seen that he can play multiple gods, right? I was really worried about his god pool heading into the Super Regionals because Team Solo Mid is almost guaranteed qualified. I was like, I don't see anything successful outside of the solo Beck, but proving he has a Kepri and a Bellona against Cloud9 today.
Well, let's have a look at first blood at the beginning of that game. GaRZ got off to a wonderful start once again, finding himself the first blood for the second game when he went aggressive in the jungle.
Yeah, just trying to steal away the attack speed buff, and he finds JeffHindla a little bit too deep.
There was not a whole lot.
I guess not too deep, right? It was in his own jungle.
It wasn't too deep. It was like he was invading with 1v2. But then from there, GaRZ didn't manage to really get anything going for himself in the game.
He seemed to be falling behind. There were so many team fights breaking out, and GaRZ wasn't able to really farm efficiently like he wanted to. Meanwhile, andinster was able to farm and participate in the team fights because of the global ult. andinster didn't have to be there before GaRZ because he could arrive there at any time he wanted.
That's very true. Let's have a look at North American All-Stars. Oh, sorry, I mean Alpha Draft performers this time round. I'm expecting
all Cloud9.
Oh, actually, no, it's all. I messed up.
This game was a little bit more one-sided at the end. There was a lot of kills and assists going out for both, or for most of Cloud9.
I guess, but at the same time, it still looked like a very even game on paper.
That was not free.
About 27 minutes in was where it really just switched.
Yeah, about that 27-minute
mark. 7 minutes of a game where it wasn't even.
It just seemed that Cloud9 was able to find some really clutch plays, and we're actually going to take a look at the play of the game. MLC Stealth managing a triple in one of these late-game engagements.
Well, he's back in the meta. People are picking him up once again. He blinks him, and he picks up the first kill with a stun, and then the card comes out too. He's quite happy to continue chasing if he needs to, but turning around to pick up the boost is one thing.
That card did that much damage?
Yep.
Wow. I think that was just really how far behind we saw GaRZ in levels in that regard. I believe, I didn't happen to catch it, but I believe he was still level 16 in that last fight.
Beautiful performance by Cloud9. Big, important 2-0, and to be fair, we showed a player of MLC Stealth in the mid lane, but Baskin had such a big impact. I mentioned his name multiple times casting then.
He played phenomenally. He was really just frustrating to play against. You could tell from Team Solo Mid. He was always hitting his spirit flails and the sickles and slowing so many players. And
he was hitting the Lord
Snoopy outplayed BaRRaCCuDDa here 1v1, but Baskin with a phenomenal rotation able to find a kill.
I'm glad we caught the 1v1 there a little bit. But the afterlife, you can see where he's after every time. Snoopy, come to daddy, was saying Baskin every single time.
And that was his target. I mean, that was both games, right? Cloud9 was like, we're focusing out Snoopy. He is the target. We need to lock down, and successfully doing it both games.
That was 3 plays in a row that we just watched where it was like Snoopy was the first one dead, and it was Baskin trying to just beat him down every single time.
Unfortunately, Team Solomid really not able to protect Snoopy as well as they wanted, but could have been Snoopy's own fault, only having those beads won for so late.
A small impact, but I don't think the biggest impact.
Snoopy has always been that guy, though, that doesn't really like to invest into actives unless he has to. But I believe he had 7 or 8 deaths that match. Game. Could have been the reason.
That fight here, this little skirmish was very good. It was 3v1. He relied on his team at andinster to turn up and support. And Baskin's really starting to show himself.
Oh yeah, Baskin was playing great. He was locking down Snoopy every single fight and hitting some really nice Lord of Afterlife.
Well, let's have a little talk from Cloud9's support player. He played Athena both games that time round. Jeff, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How about you guys?
Ooh.
No, bit of a bad microphone connection there. Canada, it must be a little bit. Canada, it must be a little bit. You in the mountains?
It's hard. It's a long connection.
Is it any better now?
It's a little bit better.
Sorry, I'm trying to get it.
Don't worry about it. How was your games? How was your games?
They were absolutely amazing. I love playing against TSM.
Yeah, we love watching him. Please keep doing it. Can you just like do that once a week, please?
I would love to just have long games like that. It's really hard to play him, and it's super rewarding to win him.
So, quick question here. How are you guys feeling heading into the Super Regionals? I believe you are guaranteed 3rd seed now with those wins?
I think we are. I looked at it before, and I believe we are. But I'm feeling confident. Everyone's been playing super well, and I'm really impressed.
Now, the rise of Athena is starting to come back into the mix, and you had 2 good performances on it today. Was it your priority pick you would have liked for yourself today?
Yeah, she's been performing well lately, and I've been pretty comfortable on her. So.
Okay, Jeff, we're going to cut this short because at the moment it looks like you drifted off into space to find that new skin that just came out as well. So any shout-outs you want to give, Jeff, before we let you go?
I want to give shout-outs to Cloud9. They've been treating us great, and my team because they played fantastic today. And thank you guys, and thanks to the fans.
Oh, thank you very much, Jeff. Have a great rest of your weekend. Good performance from them. And it puts them in a good spot.
Oh, man, that was not even the last set of the day.
No, there's still one more set, right?
I'm done. That was good. I'm not actually done.
I'm done.
I'll be on for the last set, but that was such a great prelude to the Super Regionals. We're going to be seeing both those teams face off, more than likely on the same side of the... Actually, no, they'll be on different sides, right? Cloud9 looking like they'll be on Eager's side. True. TSM looking like they're going to be...
So far. We'll be back with the final set of North America, the penultimate game of the penultimate week.